today I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about where we get our grains from. So if you've been around here, you've seen a few of my recipes, and while I do use all-purpose flour, I use a lot of freshly milled grains. And one of our favorites, of course, is oats. So you're saying oat flour? Not necessarily. I do use oat flour for some gluten-free recipes, but oats I use a lot for granola. Do you like oats, Shelby?
Yeah.
You do? So yes, you can buy oats at the store, but it's a lot harder to find organic oats where I live at the store without paying an arm and a leg for them. So I have found that it's actually cheaper and easier to order them from a grain mill. The hardest part with buying grains in bulk is, of course, you want to find the best price and you want to find something that's organic, but they're usually not close by. So our grain mill that I order from is called Natural Way Mills, and it is actually all the way in Minnesota. But even with the price of shipping, these grains come out cheaper per pound than anything I can buy locally, which is insane because I'm paying just about as much for the bag of grain as I am for the shipping, but I'll take what I can get. Now these are certified organic oats, so that grain mill is a really great resource for me. I am also able to source wheat from there, so they have soft winter wheat that I buy, as well as einkorn berries, and einkorn berries are pretty hard to come by. Oftentimes they're out of stock, or you have to order them specifically from a site like Jovial, which is a great resource, and I have ordered them from there, but it is way cheaper to order it from my grain mill over in Minnesota than it is from Jovial. So finding a grain mill online that is relatively close by, where the shipping and the cost of the grain per pound is cheaper than what you can buy locally, that's what you want to look for. Buying grains in bulk is really beneficial for our family. We are able to mill our own flour. Now, of course, you're getting a whole wheat flour when you do that, which is really great health-wise, but cooking-wise, it's going to throw you for a loop for a little bit because everything's just going to turn out a little different until you kind of figure out, okay, I can do totally whole wheat, fresh milled grain with this. I need to sift it once, or I need to do a combination with all-purpose flour so I can get that light and fluffy texture. So that's what I've been really playing with the last couple of months. And we're starting to find a happy ratio with those things. But I love having bulk grains on hand, so I will order these oats and they will last me, I don't know, maybe 9 months. So I'll use them for granola, for yogurt. I'll use them in granola bars. I will use them, mill it into flour for gluten-free recipes. The einkorn berries I use a lot for my sourdough starter, as well as just for baking. So these are really great resources for our family that we thoroughly enjoy. There are lots of health benefits as well when you are using whole grains, freshly milled. They have all of the amino acids, all of the oils there. You're getting all of the fiber and protein from the whole of the wheat. Now rolled oats, I'm not necessarily getting that from, but it's a lot more convenient for me to buy them rolled versus as a groat or an unhulled oat. So that's what we do for oats. For our einkorn berries and for our wheat berries, I buy them whole, so that way they still have their hard outer shell on them. The einkorn berries, it grinds up so smooth and fine that I usually don't sift that flour. The whole wheat berries, the whole white winter wheat berries, I do sift because their hull is a lot tougher, and so you get some bigger flakes of that. So if you wanted to make your own like wheat bran or anything, you could take that bit that you sift out and use it for that. But I usually just toss it to the chickens and they enjoy a nice treat. I haven't figured that quite out. If you haven't tried it, I would highly encourage that you try to find a source for bulk grains near you. We really love it. It saves us some money. And then you spend the money once and you're like, oh, that was my whole grocery budget for the week. But this is going to last 9 months. When you divvy it out all the way across there, is so much cheaper than buying a thing of Quaker Oats every time you go to the store. Plus, these are organic. Now, how do you store fresh grains? Well, I find that the best way is to use these 5-gallon food grade buckets. And then you can find these lids at places like Home Depot or Lowe's, and they're called Gamma Seal lids. I'll link them down below. But these are the lids you want to have, and when you have them sealed like this, they're airtight. They will stay fresh for years. Now, of course, we go through them a lot sooner than that, and I would suggest, don't necessarily keep more than like a year or two worth of grain on hand because you want to use it up while it's fresh. But you can definitely have a little bit of a stockpile, and when you're buying grains in bulk, depending on how large your family is, they're going to last you a while. So for oats, I can almost fit a whole 25-pound bag in here. I do have to take a little bit out and put it in other bags. And I will put those inside another bucket with my einkorn berries, just because the volume that 25 pounds of oats take up is a lot more than 25 pounds of einkorn berries. So I hope that this video inspired you to check out a resource for some bulk grains near you. Look into those local grain mills, look into grain mills maybe the next state over. You know, we don't live in Minnesota, but this is the best resource for organic bulk grains near me. Again, it's Natural Way Meals. You can look them up online. They have tons of options, and they are a great resource, great customer service. And we really enjoy ordering from them. So we're going to go make some oatmeal for breakfast, and we'll see you guys on the next one. You popping the bubble wrap?
Just go here, and just go here. Just go here.
Whoa.